everyone, how's it going? Matthew Bailey Media here, and welcome to another 2023 movie review, and this time it is going to be on the third installment of this franchise, and that is Trolls 3, Trolls Band Together. Now, it's funny how they decided to release this one in theaters, even though the last movie was released strictly on demand. I think it was on Amazon Prime that they released it, and you had to have Amazon Prime. Thankfully, I was able to watch that movie on Amazon Prime at the time when it came out because my mom had an account there, so I was able to watch it back then. But with this movie, I gotta say, this movie was a pretty insane conclusion, sort of, to the franchise, because this movie is, now to be fair, the Bergens do come back from the first movie, but they're briefly featured, because this whole movie is supposed to be about trolls, right? Well, we do, just like in Trolls World Tour, where we got multiple different versions of, like, different genres of music from different types of trolls, we do have a similar thing in this movie where there are different, like, tribes of trolls as well, like where one of those tribes we find out where their home is a miniature golf course. This was kind of spoiled in the trailer, so it's not really much that, if it doesn't matter too much if I spoil this little part of the review, but in that mini golf course that is featured in the movie, it's revealed that Poppy specifically also has a long lost sister that's, I think, her older sister, and she was an older sister, and she apparently got separated from her father and King Peppy and Poppy when the trolls were trying to escape Bergentown at the time. Which, it's funny because we never see any of those moments in the first movie, but maybe they just decided to add that in for a dramatic effect, which I thought was interesting. And it's also surprising to find out that Branch also had siblings that he never mentioned, and he was also part of a band when he was just a baby. And not only that, but it's revealed that do y'all remember in the very first movie when Poppy kept insisting that he sing to help Bridget, and when he says the line, "So because singing killed my grandma"? Well, apparently, the grandma does get featured in this movie, and it's a little bit more of a backstory as to why he has such a grudge against his brothers. But not only when his grandma was killed, but the reason why he lost his colors at the time when his grandma died was not just because of her being killed and being by himself, but there is a reason why he was not so happy and he didn't want to sing again, because apparently it was because of his brothers. And he even says in this movie that he built the bunker from the first movie to help to eventually hold his brothers if they ever decided to reconnect, which to me is pretty insane. But that was a pretty little twist right there. And in regards to now I want to talk about the villains, because the villains of this movie are interesting, but there was also sort of a hidden message in here, which I know most people were blaming Disney for doing that a lot, but this time, the message that they're trying to fit in here is actually important for Disney executives who are making different movies that are not doing as well, and that's to practice and work harder to achieve your dreams and achieve your goals, which it kind of seems like Disney is lacking in a lot of their projects. It's funny because if y'all remember, DreamWorks was only created back in the 90s as sort of a FU to Disney, because the original person who was in charge of Disney at the time, Michael Eisner, and the creator of DreamWorks, Jeffrey Katzenberg, a lot of his original DreamWorks movies were sort of turning Disney characters into like either villains or just having little Easter eggs in there. But most of the time they turn some Disney characters into villains. We saw that in Shrek 2 with we saw that with the first. Actually, no, we saw it with the first Shrek where Lord Farquaad even is supposed to be in a depiction of Michael Eisner at that time. Shrek 2, they had Prince Charming and the Fairy Godmother be villains. Then we see in Flushed Away there was a little Easter egg with a little goldfish that says, "Have you seen my dad?" There was that Easter egg, and then you had and then I think the next time we had a big major Disney character featured was in Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where it's revealed that there was like a lot of different Easter eggs from Disney, like the magic carpet, Cinderella's glass slipper, all that sort of stuff. And then we also got the most recent movie aside from Trolls, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, where they turned a mermaid with red hair that looks so much similar to Ariel from The Little Mermaid into the villain of the film, which I thought was kind of clever. Oh, and I almost forgot in Abominable, another movie that came out in 2019 that I honestly didn't catch on at first. It turns out that the main female villain that was in that movie is apparently has a similar look to Merida from Brave, which I thought was insane. Again, there were so many other moments in DreamWorks movies that are apparently taking jabs at Disney, whether it's turning certain characters from Disney into villains in their universe or just having little bitty Easter eggs. But I just thought it was pretty insane to see that. But with Trolls Band Together, I actually, if I had to rank all three of them, my least favorite one would probably be the first movie. And then this movie I actually would prefer over the Trolls World Tour, which is kind of surprising. But anyways, let me give you my rating of the movie. So for my rating of Trolls Band Together, again, I really did enjoy it. I mean, I thought it could have been a much better conclusion, but I do like that one bit of messaging they put with the villains in this movie, and I thought it was insane. And like I said, the going into further backstories for both Poppy and Branch in this movie was interesting. And I mean, going back to the Bergens though, one thing I was not too thrilled about was that they sort of hinted that they were already married in the second movie, even if they showed up for a brief cameo. But Bridget and Gristle, the two Bergens from the first movie, they were just getting married at the beginning, but it seems like they were already married at the end of Trolls World Tour, which is surprising. But anyways, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.5 out of 5. Now, what you may find surprising is that I gave The Marvels a 3.5 out of 5 as well. But if I had to choose which one I preferred, this one is definitely more fun than The Marvels. So anyways, that's all for now, and I'll see all you guys in the next video.